Hello, hello. So here we are, back again to talk about my Dads in Recovery program. And you know, I thought maybe it would be a good idea to tell a few stories. And I mean, everybody has a dad, right? And many men who might be listening to this are dads. But the fellas that I'm looking to work with are a small group, really, of men who are dads in recovery who are concerned, maybe even more than concerned, about their relationship with their kids. And now, you may be a dad with a young child, and you're worried about how do I do this, and or you may be a dad with a teenage child or two that are discovering the world, and you have to face the possibility that they're going to be like you, that they're going to be an addict, alcoholic like you are, and go through the things that that we went through as teens, and so many today aren't making it. They're not coming out the other side. It's not like it was when I was a kid. I remember, drugging and drinking when I was a kid, and there wasn't fentanyl, and there wasn't people weren't dropping dead. If they got killed, if my friends, some did, it was in a car accident or something like that. It wasn't seemed to be as dangerous as it is today. So if you're a dad and you got kids and you're an addict and you're an alcoholic and you're in recovery, you're concerned, and no doubt. And I want to tell you a couple of stories. One actually is about a dad that I interviewed. Lived out of town, and he was a referral. Somebody said I should talk to him, and he had three kids, and he was divorced, and had kind of, I remember correctly, a relationship with one of the three kids. And so we got talking, and he was divorced, and he and his wife were not getting along. There was he and his ex, were fighting, and he was literally estranged from two of the kids, and we're I was doing an interview because I was, before I did my first course, I was looking to see what was going on with dads in recovery. I thought I knew a lot, but I interviewed 50 men, and finally it came out that this guy, I asked him about his relationship with his father, and he said that no good son of a bitch. I don't have a relationship with him. Well, he was mistaken. He did have a relationship with him, and he was really angry with his dad. Now here he is in recovery, I guess, he's not drinking anyway, and but he was mad as hell about his dad. And I don't remember all the details about what happened with his dad, but what I knew was this guy had venom towards his own father, and that venom, I believe, was showing itself in his relationship with his kids, his relationship with his ex, and I told him, he wasn't. We were in the course. I really didn't. The call wasn't for me to give advice, but I said, that poison that's killing you. It's killing you, and it's killing the relationship with your kids, and it may kill them. You know, and but he wasn't moving. He was justified. His dad had done something, and in his mind, there was no healing that, and there's no way around that. And so one of the modules in the course that I do, and one of the pieces that I work on a lot is with men in their relationship with their dad. Often, many of us had trying relationships with our fathers, and at the very least, we had many of us had dads who were alcoholics and addicts, and didn't show up very well, and some of us had some bad situations. There's no doubt, dads that weren't there at all, or dads that were seriously abusive, and now here we were, the wheel of life had come around, and we were raising our own children, trying to be in a relationship with a woman. These two things that are so important. Isn't it funny? We sober up, and maybe our kids were with us when we drank, and we've got amends to make and lots of healing to do, or we sobered up before we had children and before we got married, and these are two things we don't know anything about. Being in a relationship, a long-term committed relationship with a woman, and how do we parent? How do we be a dad? But one of the things that we do deal with is healing the relationship with our dads in the program, in the course, and in the ongoing connection that continues after the course. And because a lot of our beliefs, our old ideas, are fused together in that relationship. We watched our dad with our mom. We watched our dad with our brothers and sisters, and so that's a part of it. But this guy, I'll never forget him. I don't remember him so much, but I remember how he was not gonna. There's no way he was gonna let go of his anger and his justified hate, if you will, towards his own father. So just thought I'd share that, and that's one of the things we do. So, my course, we're going to start on the 15th, I think it is, of October. Had interest, people are interested in it, and it's for men who are dads in recovery, who, are maybe seriously concerned about, the broken relationship with their children, or that they've lost trust in their family. And those are the guys I want to work with. And so that's a story. I've got another story, I guess, about one more dad in recovery that, wasn't able to be with his daughter. He never married the mom, but he did something that I thought was remarkable. And I've known this man for a long, long time. And when his little girl was about 2 years old, even though he saw her on the weekends and stuff, he called her every day. And I just admired this so much, because I've been interested in this topic. I'm a dad in recovery. I have 3 kids, and I watched this happen with him. And he called her every day. He had a timer on his phone, and about 6:45 every day, he called her from the time she was about 2 years old. And she's, I think, 16 now, and he still calls her. And I talked to her about it recently, and she said she thought he called every day. He said, "Oh no, it was only probably 80% of the time." But my gosh, that was a commitment, and that little girl knows that her dad loves her. Period. Full stop. Yes, they spent weekends together, but he never, very seldom he missed a call. And that's a magic. That's the magic. Our kids need to know that we love us and that we love them, and that love is an action word. It's the things that we do, and that's part of what we go into in our course as well. Because men are like, how do I be with my teenage daughter? Sometimes it's difficult, and how do I be there without giving advice? How do I be there accepting? How do I be there not managing their life? How do I be there loving them and just doing stuff with them? So that's part of the course. So if you know of anybody, pass this around, and it's kind of unique what I'm doing, and it's not that I have gone and got a PhD in this officially, but I've made a study of it for a long, long time. I remember when my kids were teenagers, and I didn't know. I didn't have a benchmark. I didn't know how to do this, really. And I got connected with some men who were dads who were successful, and I spent a lot of time with them. I really researched. I wanted to know, how was I doing? So it became a study for me. And that's a lot of years ago now, and so it's my job to pass it on. So yeah, that's it. Love you guys, and I love this work. It's more than a vocation; it's a passion to work with men who are dads, and help break the chain. To be there when our kids really need us, and to be there before, so that they'll come to us when they really need us. Okay, Love you guys. If you want to get in touch with me, the course is not for everybody. I do like an interview to make sure that, you're qualified, that this is going to be worth your while, and this is something that you really want to do. And so we do an interview to make sure that you're qualified. That's it. Love you. Talk soon. Cheers.